Allo, allo, it's Nia. Welcome to AI Creator World Podcast, the place where creators learn how to grow faster, build smarter, and turn artificial intelligence into real opportunity. Here, we explore powerful AI tools, content strategies, personal branding systems, and new ways to create income in the digital era. If you are building something online, you are in the right place. Let's begin.
Right now, there are, thousands of AI-generated influencers out there with these massive, just eye-watering follower counts, and they're making absolutely nothing.
Like $0. It's crazy.
Literally zero. So welcome to our deep dive. Whether you're, intensely curious about this booming virtual creator economy, or maybe you're secretly looking to build a digital empire of your own, this is definitely for you.
Yeah, we've got a really good one today.
We do. Today, we are dissecting this extensive 2026 guide by the AI Creator World team. It's titled AI Influencer Monetization Strategy, Turn Attention into Predictable Income.
Which is quite the title, but very accurate.
Right, and our mission today is to uncover exactly how these digital avatars are, turning eyeballs into actual bank balances. We're moving way past the novelty of just going viral.
Because going viral is just step one.
Exactly. We want to figure out how these creators build a predictable, scalable business. So, okay, let's unpack this, because the core premise of this entire guide hinges on a very hard truth. Attention is not a business. The reason all these massive AI accounts are earning zero is that they lack what the authors call a monetization architecture.
Yeah, and the problem there is just a fundamental misunderstanding of what actually generates revenue in the digital space.
Right.
People see a high follower count and they just assume a high income naturally follows. But the data shows that the creators generating consistent income aren't the ones with the largest audiences at all.
Which is wild to think about.
It really is. They are the ones who built revenue systems early. Like, they priced their value based on data, and they activated multiple income streams in a very deliberate sequence.
So it's not just throwing things at the wall.
Not at all. I mean,
Right.
the gap between a creator making $500 a month and one making, say, $10,000 a month at the exact same follower count.
Wow, the exact same count.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with who uses the better AI image generator. It comes down entirely to that underlying architecture.
Well, before we get into the actual mechanics of making the money, we have to understand this disconnect between followers and cash.
Right.
Because a lot of people think building an audience is the hard part, and then the money just sort of magically appears, right?
Yeah, the build it and they will come mindset.
Exactly. But think about it like opening a massive packed nightclub. You've got a line around the block, thousands of people inside dancing, but you completely forgot to install a bar.
That is a perfect way to look at it.
Right. The traffic is there, the attention is there, but there is absolutely no way to capture the value. You need those mechanisms. You need the bar, the cash registers.
That's the structural issue right there. You have a massive crowd, but no way to charge them for anything. And the guide points out that engagement rate is a far more accurate predictor of revenue potential than sheer follower count.
Okay, so what do the numbers actually say?
Well, if we look at their benchmarks, a 10,000 follower account with an 8% engagement rate is commercially way more valuable than a 50,000 follower account with a 1.5% engagement rate.
Wait, really? So 5 times the followers, but it's actually less valuable?
Yes.
What is the actual mechanism making that smaller audience worth more to a brand?
It really comes down to the quality of attention. Brands aren't just buying reach anymore, They are buying influence. And the guide outlines these specific readiness signals.
Readiness signals, okay.
Yeah, signals that tell you when an audience is actually primed to be monetized. So it's not just hitting some arbitrary follower number. For instance, they say you need a save rate above 3% of your total reach.
Why specifically a save rate, though? Like, why does a save matter more than just a like?
Because a like is just a passive acknowledgement. I mean, it takes a fraction of a second to double tap, but a save, that is a psychological commitment.
No, that makes sense.
Right. It means the user found the content so functionally valuable or, aesthetically necessary that they actually intend to return to it.
So it's like bookmarking it for later.
Exactly. And the algorithm heavily rewards saves because it signals utility. And utility is basically the foundation of trust.
Okay, what else besides saves?
Well, on top of that, the guide looks at comment quality. You need deep, substantive comments, not just people dropping like 3 fire emojis, but actual conversations.
Right. Real engagement.
Yeah. And crucially, you need at least 60 days of consistent publishing before even attempting to monetize.
Wait, why 60 days? Is that like an algorithmic sandbox period, or is it more about audience psychology?
Honestly, both are at play here. Like first, it proves reliability to the algorithm, ensuring your content is consistently served to your core demographic.
Right. The algorithm needs to know you're not going to vanish.
Exactly. But it also proves to potential brand partners that you are a stable entity. I mean, a brand isn't going to sink a $5,000 marketing budget into an account that might get bored and stop posting next week.
Yeah, that would be a terrible investment.
What's fascinating here is how the article shifts the focus from the sheer quantity of interaction to the actual quality of authority. It introduces this concept of commercial alignment.
But isn't commercial alignment just like a fancy marketing term for staying in your niche?
It's deeper than just staying in a niche, actually. It dictates your actual revenue ceiling based on the environment you create.
Okay, break that down for me.
Let's look at the mechanics. If you build a luxury lifestyle AI persona, right, featuring high-end fashion aesthetics and aspirational travel spots.
Right, the classic Instagram model vibe.
Exactly. That persona naturally creates a reference environment for luxury brands. Conversely, a business education AI persona delivering tactical frameworks naturally aligns with software tools and B2B services.
Makes total sense.
So if you try to sell enterprise software through the luxury lifestyle avatar, it fails, regardless of how high the engagement is. The commercial alignment has to match the product's natural habitat.
Okay, so assuming our nightclub has a bar installed, the audience is saving our content, and our commercial alignment is totally locked in. How do we actually price the drinks?
That moves us to phase 2.
Right, phase 2. The guide suggests starting with brand partnerships,
Yeah.
because this is where the highest per transaction income is early on. And I was looking at the numbers here. They are pretty revealing.
They really are. They break down these tiered pricing models based on a combination of follower size, engagement, and niche premium.
Yeah, so for a 5,000 to 10,000 follower account, the base rate they list is $150 to $300 per post.
Yeah.
But if you have high engagement, you can offer a premium package.
Which is usually, what, 3 posts?
Yeah, 3 posts.
Yeah.
And that pushes the deal to $400 to $800. And it scales aggressively. Like at 100,000 plus followers, those premium package rates can soar to between $9,000 and $22,000.
That is massive for a digital avatar.
Oh, it's huge. But here's where it gets really interesting. The guide highlights a major tactical shift for capturing those higher numbers. They explicitly tell creators, do not present a rate card.
Right?
Instead, present a structured campaign proposal.
And that distinction right there separates the amateurs from the professionals. I mean, a rate card essentially says, I am a vendor selling post volume. Here is the cost for one photo.
Right. It's very transactional.
Exactly. But a campaign proposal says, I am a strategic partner selling a business outcome.
Yeah. You're outlining the content format, the publishing schedule, how you're integrating their key messaging naturally into your AI storyline.
Yep, the timeline, the exclusivity scope.
Exactly. You're giving them the exact performance metrics you're going to track. By shifting from just a digital billboard to a strategic partner, the guide notes you can increase the deal value by 30 to 50%.
Let's look at the psychology of negotiation the text unpacks here, because it's highly actionable. When a brand approaches you, their opening number is just a floor.
Right. They expect you to counter.
Exactly. They have already budgeted more than that first offer. So the guide gives 3 rules for these conversations. First, set your absolute minimum before you ever reply to the email.
And never dip below it.
Never dip below it. Second, negotiate on the deliverables before you argue about the price.
Okay, let's root this in a real scenario for everyone listening. Say an AI creator gets an email from a major brand, let's say a mid-tier tech company, and they're offering $1,000 for a campaign.
Okay, standard opening offer.
Right. The creator's excited, but their internal minimum target was $1,500. It's incredibly tempting to just take the $1,000 so you don't lose the deal, right?
Yeah.
So how does that negotiate deliverables rule work here?
Well, instead of just asking for more money, which instantly creates friction, you expand the scope to justify the higher rate.
Okay, so what do you say?
You reply, I'd love to partner. For $1,500, I can add an extended timeline, extra story post, and grant you broader distribution rights for your own ads.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you are showing them how spending more actually buys them disproportionate value.
Okay, what was the third rule?
The third rule is using your engagement data as your anchor. You show them your 4% save rate, And your demographic specificity to prove your audience is the exact consumer they are trying to reach.
So you're basically shifting the conversation from, how much does this cost, to look at the value you're capturing.
Exactly.
But active brand deals, as lucrative as they are, they require constant pitching and negotiation. The source literally calls them lumpy.
Yeah, lumpy income is stressful.
Right. You might have a $10,000 month, and then the next month, crickets. So how does an AI influencer decouple their time from their income, make money while they sleep, essentially?
That bridges us into phases 3 and 4, which are affiliate systems and digital products.
Okay, but I have to push back here on behalf of you, the listener. If the AI persona isn't a real human, why on earth would an audience trust their product recommendations?
That's the big question.
Right. Like, if I'm buying a $100 piece of software, I want to know the creator actually got frustrated using it. An AI doesn't feel frustration. It doesn't actually try on the moisturizer.
And that is the single biggest hurdle for an AI creator. It's a totally valid skepticism. But the source explains that in the digital economy, trust isn't strictly built on physical flesh and blood experience.
Then what is it built on?
It is built through evidence-based content funnels. The audience trusts utility and factual curation.
But how do you curate frustration? I mean, a big part of trust is knowing the actual downsides of a product.
Exactly. And an AI persona can actually be optimized to deliver that. The AI can aggregate the top 100 negative reviews of a software, synthesize them, and provide an honest review that acknowledges the actual trade-offs.
Oh, wow. So it's basically doing massive data analysis.
Right. The AI can say, based on extensive testing workflows, this software is great for rapid rendering, but the UI is clunky and often crashes on older operating systems.
That nuance builds credibility.
Exactly. Furthermore, tutorial content that demonstrates real-world application on the screen, even if it's presented by an AI voice or avatar, proves the value of the tool.
Because you're seeing it work.
Right. If the educational framework works and solves the viewer's problem, the audience trusts the source of that framework.
Okay, I see the logic there. It's less about the physical sensation of using a product and more about the factual, curated breakdown of why a tool optimizes a specific problem.
Yes.
And once that functional trust is established, the passive income ROI is surprisingly strong. I mean, the guide breaks down the commission structures perfectly.
The math is really solid.
Yeah, physical products typically yield 5 to 15% commissions. But digital products and software, those yield 20 to 50% per referral.
And the math on software affiliates is incredibly scalable because it relies on evergreen content.
Content that just sits there working for you.
Right. The guide points out that if you have just 10 well-optimized pieces of content, say YouTube tutorial videos or high-ranking SEO blog posts, and each one drives just $200 a month in affiliate sales.
That equals $2,000 in permanent passive monthly income.
Exactly. It just sits there, compounding over time while you focus on other things.
But eventually, you want to move from selling other people's products for a 30% cut to selling your own products for a 100% cut.
That's the dream.
Right. That's the pivot to digital products, which the guide highlights as the highest margin category.
Oh, the margins are phenomenal. I mean, there are zero inventory costs, no shipping delays, no fulfillment nightmares.
It's all just ones and zeros.
Exactly. And the guide highlights specific product categories that work best for AI personas. You have low-friction entry products like prompt templates or content calendar frameworks.
And those usually sell for what? $9 to $49?
Yep, around there. Then you have mid-tier products like mini courses selling for $49 to $149. But there is a crucial rule here for product development.
Reach us.
Build from demonstrated audience demand, not assumed interest.
Okay, explain the mechanism behind that. Because I know so many creators who disappear for 2 months to build a course. They finally launch it, and they get 0 sales.
Yeah, because they build what they think the audience wants. The guide says you must wait for the audience to explicitly ask for it in the comments and DMs.
So you need that hard proof first.
Right. If you post a tutorial and get 50 comments saying, can you share the exact prompt you used for this? That is your demonstrated demand.
Oh, I see.
You package that prompt library, price it at $19, and launch it to an audience that has already asked to buy it.
That's so smart.
You do the brand deals to get cash flow. You do the affiliates to build a passive baseline and see what categories your audience actually clicks on. And then using that hard data, you build your own digital products. You mitigate risk at every single step.
Okay, so we've got active cash from brand deals, we've got a passive baseline from affiliates, and we've got high margin scale from our own digital products.
It's a solid foundation.
But selling courses means you are constantly on a treadmill, right? Hunting for new buyers every single month. How do these creators get off that treadmill and secure a baseline of recurring revenue?
Well, this is where the guide introduces memberships, which is phase 5.
Right.
Memberships provide the holy grail of any business, which is recurring monthly revenue. It's the ultimate stability layer. And the guide needs some very specific psychological pricing barriers here.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
The primary conversion thresholds they identify are $9.99, $19.99, and $49.99 per month.
Why those specific numbers? I mean, is it just the classic ending in 99 cents retail trick?
It's deeper than that, actually. It's about mental accounting and subscription fatigue. Consumers unconsciously categorize their spending. So $9.99 feels like a Spotify or Netflix tier. It's an impulse buy for entertainment or just basic utility.
Okay, that makes sense. What about 19.99?
$19.99 is the professional tool bucket. They expect it to actually help them do something better. And then $49.99 crosses into the premium education or networking bucket.
So to get someone to cross those thresholds, especially for an AI creator, you have to really deliver.
Yeah, you have to execute what the guide calls value stacking.
Right, value stacking. Because if you just offer, slightly longer versions of the same free videos you post on YouTube, people will just cancel after month 1.
Exactly. You have to construct a stack of benefits that makes the membership a reference environment they actually rely on. You offer behind-the-scenes workflows, downloadable assets, or direct Q&A access.
Give them a reason to stay.
And the guide uses a fantastic loss test to determine if your value stack is strong enough.
Ooh, what's the loss test?
Ask yourself, if a paying member canceled their subscription tomorrow, would they feel a tangible loss in their daily workflow or community access?
Wow.
Right. If the answer is no, your value stack is too weak and your churn rate will just skyrocket.
Okay, so what does this all mean for the big picture? We have a fully monetized architecture now. But here is where the structural advantage of AI completely breaks the traditional rules of the creator economy.
This is my favorite part.
Because human creators hit a wall. A human can only film so many videos, travel to so many events, and manage so many brand deals before they just burn out.
Humans need sleep.
Right. An AI persona doesn't sleep. So the end game here, phase 6, is agency scaling.
This is the massive leap. The team behind the AI can operate 3 to 5 distinct personas simultaneously.
That's insane. Let's look at the mechanics of this AI agency model, because this is where the real wealth generation happens. To run multiple personas, you don't hire multiple human influencers.
No, you build a minimum viable production team.
Right. The guide outlines this structure. You have a content strategist to handle the concepts and the overarching brand narratives. An AI visual producer who specializes in prompt engineering and video generation.
Yep.
A social media manager for scheduling, community management, and analytics. And a copywriter to adjust the captions and hooks.
And the crazy part is the cost.
Yes. The cost for that entire human back-end team. The source puts it between $1,400 and $4,600 a month.
Let's examine how those workflows actually intersect to run 3 personas at once, because it's brilliant.
Go for it.
The content strategist doesn't just write one calendar. They design modular narrative arcs for all 3 avatars. So say, one in luxury lifestyle, one in business tech, and one in fitness.
The 3 completely different audiences.
Right. The AI visual producer takes those arcs and batches the asset generation using locked character seeds, basically producing a month's worth of imagery in a few days.
Wow.
And then the copywriter takes those assets and tailors the voice for each specific niche.
It's literally a digital assembly line. And the economics are wild. If each of those 3 personas is generating $3,000 to $8,000 a month through the architecture we just discussed, the margins after paying that $400-600 team cost are massive.
They're huge.
And spinning up a 4th persona doesn't require hiring another team. The infrastructure is already dialed in. You just add another character to the assembly line.
You basically evolve from being an influencer to being a full-blown media network. But the guide does provide a crucial test to ensure you've actually built a scalable agency and haven't just created a highly complex, stressful job for yourself.
The 2-week absence test. I love this concept.
It's the ultimate benchmark. Can the human owner of the agency step away completely offline for 2 full weeks without any revenue stream declining by more than 20%?
That is the dream right there.
If you pass that test, it means you have successfully replaced creator-dependent activities with documented systems.
Like SOPs.
Exactly. Standard operating procedures for brand outreach, affiliate link management, digital product delivery, community moderation. The machine runs without you turning the crank.
It's just an incredible blueprint. So, for you listening, why does all this matter? Whether you want to actively build an AI influencer portfolio or you just want to understand the mechanics of the modern digital economy, knowing this optimal sequencing is a masterclass in business.
It really is.
You use brand partnerships first for market validation and active cash. You build affiliate systems for passive compounding income. You leverage that data into digital products for high margin scale. And finally, you lock in memberships for recurring stability before scaling the whole thing into an agency.
It's all about turning raw, fleeting attention into a diversified financial asset. If we synthesize the core philosophy of this 2026 guide, it really boils down to this.
Rios.
The creators who survive and thrive in this space aren't the ones who go viral by accident. They are the ones who engineer their monetization as a deliberate architecture from day one. They don't view income as like a lucky byproduct of growth. They view growth as the raw fuel for a meticulously designed revenue engine.
It's deliberate, it's calculated, and it's incredibly effective. And it leaves me with the final thought I want you to mull over. We've talked extensively today about the massive structural advantage of AI scaling. If an AI agency can infinitely scale dozens of hyper-targeted personas across every profitable niche managed by a single back-end team, never getting burned out, never needing a vacation, and never demanding a larger cut of the profits.
Yeah, what happens then?
Exactly. What happens to the market value of human authenticity 10 years from now? Will human influencers eventually become obsolete, unable to compete with the sheer volume and precision of AI media networks? Or will human imperfection become the rare, expensive, bespoke alternative to the AI standard?
It's a fascinating question.
Think about that nightclub analogy. Or even better, think about water infrastructure. If AI builds the most perfectly engineered massive reservoirs in the world, well, maybe the only thing people will eventually pay a premium for is the chaotic, unpredictable taste of catching actual rain. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you for listening to AI Creator World Podcast. If you found this episode valuable, make sure to follow the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, and share this episode with another creator who is building their future online. For deeper guides, AI tools, and step-by-step growth strategies, visit our website at aicreatorworld.net. And remember, in the age of artificial intelligence, creators who learn faster will lead the future. See you in the next episode. Bye!